When I met my husband, he couldn't get enough of my world. I'm from Colombia. He's from a tiny town in Texas, where salsa meant ketchup and Tabasco. He loved my music. He'd try to dance with me in the kitchen, even though he had zero rhythm. He'd ask me to teach him Spanish. He'd even call my grandmother and butcher her name just to hear her laugh. He was all in. But something shifted after we got married. Whenever I'd call my family, he'd disappear to the garage. If I played my music, he'd put on headphones. He never said, "Stop." He just quietly stopped participating. And slowly, I started shrinking myself. I turned down the volume. I spoke less Spanish. I cooked American food every single night. Then, I found out I was pregnant. And I panicked. Would this baby know my abuela's recipes? Would they know my songs? I decided to test him. For 1 week, I stopped holding back. I blasted my music. I spoke Spanish on every phone call. I made arepas, and I sang while I cooked. The whole apartment felt like my childhood home. Day 1, he looked confused. Day 2, he looked uncomfortable. But on day 3, I came home, and he was wearing a poncho. He had learned to make empanadas, and they were awful. He'd even downloaded a language app. He looked at me, nervous, and said, "If this kid is going to be bilingual, I need to catch up." I burst out laughing. He called my grandmother, and he tried to tell her the food was delicioso. He accidentally said he was embarazado, which means pregnant. My grandma laughed so hard, she cried. That's when he held my hands and said, "I'm sorry I made you feel like you had to leave yourself outside the door." He promised our baby would know both worlds. So, I handed him the pregnancy test. He stared, his eyes welled up. He hugged me tight and whispered, "Teach me one thing." I said, "What?" He replied, "What will the baby call me?" I smiled. "Papa." And in that moment, I knew our child wouldn't have to choose. They'd be surrounded by both.